Hello again. I got a question from Matthew, and I'm making this video to answer that question. It is regarding number 16 in the homework, and the question says y equal a times e to the power of mt. We need to find the value for m, so that d squared y over dt squared minus plus dy by dt minus 6y equals 0. So when we have a question like this, the first thing we see what we can get. Here I see d squared y over dt squared, which is the second derivative. So it is very clear that I'm going to get the second derivative. And of course, to get the second derivative, I have to get the first derivative, which is what I need in here. So I will find, the first thing, I will find dy by dt. dy by dt, the derivative of this. Note here, the only variable is t. So m and a are constants. So we are going to find the derivative of y with respect to t. A, the constant, we're not going to be involved in this derivative. E to the power of mt, this is in the form of e to the power of g of x, or any function. So the derivative is e to the power of g of x, which is e to the power of mt, times the derivative of g of x. The derivative of mt, m is constant and t is the variable, so it will be m. We can rearrange this and write it in a better way, so it will be am e to the power of mt. This is the first derivative. Okay, now we are going to find the second derivative, which is d squared y over dt squared, which is the derivative of this. The same idea exactly, so am will not be involved. Then the derivative of e to the power of mt will be the same thing, e to the power of g of x, so e to the power of g of x, which is mt, times the derivative of mt, which is g of x, g prime of x, so the derivative of mt is m. And we can write this in a better way, multiplying the m with the am, so that will be a m squared e to the power of mt. Now we have found everything, and all what we need to do is to solve the equation, this equation. So I will substitute with everything I know. I will take d squared y over dt squared and substitute with this a m squared e m to the power of t plus dy by dx, which is this a m e to the power of mt minus 6 times y, which is the original function, so 6a e to the power of mt equal 0, and we need to solve this equation. So it looks like we don't know how to solve this equation. And I told you before that when we don't know what to do, the first thing comes to our mind, yes, I hear it, factor. So we look and try to factor what is common here. When I look at these three terms, I found that a is common, so I will factor the a out. E to the power of mt is common, so I will factor e to the power of mt out. And that will leave inside m squared plus m minus 6 equals equals 0. Okay, we have two things multiplied together and the result is 0, so we need to isolate, to separate those. So either a e to the power of mt equals 0, this is one part, or m squared plus m minus 6 equals 0, and this is the second part. This will never be 0 unless a is 0. So it didn't mention that a is 0, because if a is 0, y is 0, and all what we have done doesn't make any sense. So this is 0 if e to the power of mt equals 0. And this is impossible because this is exponential function, and as we know, it will never gonna have an x-intercept, so this is not applicable. There is no solution in here. Okay? Now we need to solve this part. This is a regular quadratic equation, so we try to factor, and it's very easy to factor. We open two brackets. We put m and m. Think of two numbers multiplied to -6 and add to +1. So plus 3 minus 2. So either m equal -3 or m equals 2. Yes. Okay, so this is the solution. I hope that you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much, and keep asking questions if you have any trouble. See you in the next video. Bye.